Welcome back, scholar. In this course, we are going to be looking at this question on ratio. Three girls share a number of apples in the ratio of 5:3:2. If the highest share is 40, find the smallest share. Now, for us to solve ratio, we need to know the total quantity of item which is being shared. But in this question, we're not being told. We are just being told that the highest among the three girls took 40. Definitely his ratio is going to be 5 because the highest ratio here is 5. From that, we can get the quantity and use it to solve for the smallest. Now, the first thing to do is to say let x represent total apple, since we don't know the numbers of apples which is being shared. The second thing is to get the total ratio, which is total ratio equal to 5 plus 3 plus 2, and that sum up to give us 10. Now, from the highest ratio, which has 40 apple, we can get our total quantity. That's the total apple which is being shared, and that's going to be 5 over the total ratio, which is 10, multiplied by x, which is the total apple. But the result is what? 40. We can simplify this. 5 here 1, 5 here 2. Therefore, I'm having 1 over 2 multiplied by x equal to 40. Now, 1 multiplied by x, that's going to give me x over 2 equal to 40. Now, I can cross multiply by balancing up this one. And that's going to be x times 1, that's x. 2 times 40, that's 80. Therefore, total apples equal to 80. So this is the total apple being shared. Now the question said find the smallest share. The smallest share means he'll be taking the smallest ratio there. So the smallest share now that's going to be 2 over the total ratio, that's 10, multiplied by, we've gotten our x, which is the total quantity. We solve it to be 80. That's multiplied by 80. This 0 cancel this 0. What do I have now? 2 over 1 multiplied by 8 over 1. By just balancing this up, well, balancing. Welcome, guys. We have another question here. Simplify root 5 into root 147 minus root 12. Now, the first thing that we ought to do here in simplification of sort is to get two factor. One is going to come up with a perfect square, then the other is not going to have a perfect square. Now let's look at what we have here. 147, we need to get two number whereby one is going to be a perfect square, then the other is not going to be, that's without the perfect square. Now let's look at that. Solution, we have root 5 into root 147 minus root 12 over root 15. Now, I can get two number here, which is 49 multiplied by 3. 49 is having a perfect square, that's 7, and 3 is not having a perfect square, it got no perfect square. Root 12 also, 4 multiplied by 3. 4 is having a perfect square, that's 2, then 3 has no perfect square. Therefore, I'm going to have root 5 into root 49 multiplied by 3 minus root 4 multiplied by 3 over root 15. Now let's look at this. We can break this down whereby I'm going to have root 5 into root 49 multiplied by root 3 minus root 4 multiplied by root 3 over root 15. Therefore, I can simplify what I have now by having root 5 into square root of 49. That's going to be 7 multiplied by root 3. That's 7 root 3 minus square root of 4. That's 2 root 3. over root 15. Now I can subtract these two from one another because they have the same sod. Had they mean they are not with the same sod, we can't subtract them from one another. So let's do that. We are going to have, let's do it over here. We are going to have root 5 into 7 minus 2. That's going to give us 5 root 3 over root 15. Remember, I told you that they can be subtracted or add if they are not of the same root. So we can further simplify by having 5 multiplied by this. Remember, the root can only multiply the root here, and that's going to give us 5 root 15 over what? Root 15. Now, this can cancel out this. Then our final answer is 5.